Thank you for visiting Cheff'n with Chef Angel. I am Chef Angel, owner of Signatures by Angell Catering. Thank you for visiting, and today we are going to make pan-seared lemon chicken scampi with gorgonzola mashed potatoes. So once we get all of this stuff together, it looks like a whole lot, but once we get it all together, it's going to be magic on your plate. So basically, I have one of my favorite cuts of meat. I know a lot of people don't really like it because they say it's oh so fattening, but to me it's like the jewel of the chicken, which is chicken thighs. Once I wash them, clean them, put a little lemon juice over them, beauty. So we're going to season these up. Got a couple of different things going on over here. Once we season them up, we're going to put a little bit of flour over them. We'll put them inside of this nice hot pan. We're going to get that part started. Okay, so I have here some beautiful halal cuts of boneless, skinless thighs. A lot of people don't really like, the thighs of dark meat because of the fat and all of that other stuff. That to me is like the jewel of the chicken. One of the best tasting, most flavorful portions to me. So they're all cleaned up, washed up, all the fat is cut off. Douse them with a little bit of lemon juice just to make sure that they're clean. And now we're going to season them. We have a little bit of fennel. We have a little bit of coarse salt, coarse pepper, seasoning salt, garlic powder, and Italian seasoning. Now, does all of this go on the chicken? No. But some of this will go on the chicken. The rest of it is going to go inside the sauce that we're going to make to tie this entire meal together. And for me, it's all about the sauce. You can have a beautiful cut of meat. You can have some wonderful sides. With a great sauce, everything gets married together. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to season this with a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of seasoning salt, coarse black pepper first. Okay, so you don't have to be too liberal with it. You don't want it to overpower everything. So we've already seasoned up both sides of the meat. Already have a little bit of seasoning salt, a little bit of cracked black pepper, and now we're going to put some garlic powder on both sides. Make sure that you season both sides. It's definitely necessary that both sides are seasoned very well. I feel like the better you season the meat, you don't have to do as much to the rest of your food in order to make sure that it is seasoned. And whatever you make as far as your sauce is concerned, that right there will just heighten everything. So now that we have both sides of our chicken completely seasoned, what we're going to do is we're going to all-purpose flour. Dredge them, all-purpose flour, and then we're going to sit them in this little pan right here. And we're going to, well, I should say this plate. We're going to sit them in this plate right here, and then we're going to just let them rest while we get started on the mashed potatoes. Alright, so we're back. As you can see, we've already seasoned the chicken. We've seasoned it with some simple seasonings. We've dredged them inside of some flour, and now we just have them resting for now. I've already begun cutting up some potatoes. I like the skin on, and just to me, for red potatoes, the skin just tastes so much better in mashed potatoes. So we're just going to roughly chop these. Do you like a good knife? I absolutely love a good knife. And this Cutco knife is the absolute best. I ordered this right after we were able to do Taste of Philadelphia last year as one of the amateur chefs, and been in love with it ever since. So while we are sitting here waiting for these, we're going to get started pan searing our chicken. We're back. So we now have both of our new waves working right now. Our potatoes are now getting ready. You know, we're just gonna wait for them to kind of boil off. But this pan has only been on for literally 90 seconds and the pan is already hot. So we're gonna use a little bit of olive oil. Nice amount of olive oil, because we're going to be definitely searing these off. So you're gonna hear a nice good sizzle. No butter. Believe it or not, we're actually not going to use butter in this at all. So our pan is good and hot. See how that oil is nice and loose? That's how you know the pan is hot. Here we go. Yeah. We're cooking with non-fire. We have this chicken resting in the seasoning and the flour for maybe about 20 minutes or so. So as we get ready to have this sear off, I'm gonna go wash my hands. Alright, so wash my hands nice and clean. We're just going to let these rest. We're not gonna move them around too much because you want that nice kind of crispy brown on each side. So you don't really want to move them around too much when you first start searing them. We're also waiting for these wonderful red potatoes to start boiling, getting soft. So we're going to cover these up. And as you can see, like I said, these have only been on for maybe about less than 5 minutes. And there's already that wonderful heat and steam coming from the pot. That's how fast these induction cooktops are, especially the new ways. Alright, so these are browning up very nicely. Very, very nicely. We're going to turn these over, as you can see. That looks really, really good. Look at that. Look at that. Nice, very nice. Move that around, make sure that the entire pan has oil all over it. Now, we're not going to fully cook these. We're not going to fully cook these inside of the pan because you don't want them to be overcooked when we put them back in the sauce. So we're going to maybe 3/4 of the way cook these. So when you take these off, oh my gosh, I have to pause for a second because the smell of this cracked pepper is just illuminating this entire room. But getting back on point, when you take these out, you want the middle to be a little bit pink, just undercooked, so that when you do put it into the sauce, they'll fully cook off, and then you don't have that whole rubbery chicken overcooked kind of thing going on. So let's move these around just a little bit more. Yeah, almost. Not quite there yet, but almost. Okay, move them around. And it's creating that wonderful seasoned goodness on the bottom. And we're going to be using all of those drippings, including the chicken broth, to build our lemon scampi sauce. Now, let's talk about these potatoes that we only put in the pot about 10 minutes ago, and they're at a complete full boil at this point. So now they are nice and crisp on both sides. They're not quite done. You can still kind of see the movement of it, but you know they're not really all the way done yet. But that's exactly what you want. So now we're going to transfer these to the plate and get ready to build our sauce. I have to admit, you could actually eat these right now and it'll be okay. Because they smell amazing, they look amazing. I already know they're going to taste amazing. So we're gonna turn this heat down. So right now it's on medium high, 375 on this induction top. We're going to move it down to medium low, which is a 175, so that we can get ready to build the sauce. We don't want everything to be totally, you know. Okay, so now we are gonna get ready to build our sauce. Okay, so I got some fresh flour over here. And like I said, we're not gonna use butter. We're actually going to use the drippings from the chicken, and we're going to use this wonderful Fiore's garlic sauce, and that's going to be our base for this. So we're gonna make a roux. And if you're unfamiliar with making a roux, it really doesn't take much. You know, you just put in some oil, some butter. Most of the time people use butter, or some type of olive oil, or sometimes even vegetable oil. So we're now going to build our sauce. We're going to use the Fiore garlic sauce instead of butter, and we're going to make a roux out of the drippings and the sauce and a little bit of all-purpose flour. So we're going to shake it up because all of that goodness is on the bottom. And then we're going to use a little bit of all-purpose flour to make the roux. So we're going to put a little bit of this garlic sauce, maybe about, maybe 3 tablespoons. And a little bit of flour. And now we're going to turn this up. So instead of it being on 175, we're going to turn it up to 275. And we're going to put just a little bit of flour in here, depending on how thick you want it. We'll tell you exactly how much. So if you want it to be a really thick sauce, you put more. If you want it to be thin, then of course you'll put less and a little bit more liquid. We want it to be kind of in the middle, so we'll do just about that much. And you want to cook off the flour. You don't want it to taste pasty. So give it some time. Don't just immediately start to add everything else in it. While we're doing that, we're also going to add the shallots, garlic, and as you can see, I'm using like a liberal pinch. And you want all of this to cook together. While it's browning up, we're going to get our cream ready. So while we're waiting for this to brown up, we're going to add Italian seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon of fennel seeds. Wonderful. Just the smell alone is just amazing. A pinch of salt, and we're going to just keep toasting these up. So you can see I've already had a 1/2 lemon cut. We're going to squeeze all of the juice from this lemon, and then we're going to use another 1/2. All right, it's ready. Now we're going to add maybe about 1/2 cup of cream. Yeah. Stir that right in. And as you can see, it starts to thicken immediately. But don't worry, it's not going to be pasty because we still have our chicken broth and our white wine that we have to add. And now that that's thickened enough, we're going to add a cup of chicken broth. And we're going to add a half a cup of white wine. And now, at this point, we're just going to let this kind of hang out and start doing this thing. All of the spices and the seasonings are all going to melt together. And with the cream inside of it, it's going to thicken up. Once it thickens up to maybe about half of this, it'll reduce down. Then we will add our chicken back to it. And the chicken will kind of just hang out while we get our mashed potatoes together. So give me 1 minute and we're going to start working on our gorgonzola mashed potatoes. So we are back. We are now going to be working on our gorgonzola mashed potatoes. We've already finished our chicken. We've put it back inside the pan. The sauce is absolutely amazing. Put a little bit of lemon over the top of them. A little bit of crushed black pepper, and then we'll finish it off with some chives and some parsley. But in the meantime, let's get started on our mashed potatoes. We've already drained them and removed them from the pot, and now they're in this wonderful bowl right here. We're going to mash them first. So once we get these all mashed up together, we're going to add raw garlic, gorgonzola cheese, a little bit of butter, a little bit of heavy cream. Once everything is all mashed and creamed together, then we'll add our cheese, because we don't want the cheese to be all the way melted in. We want a couple of those little chunks so that when you bite into it, you still get like that power from the gorgonzola cheese. I absolutely love gorgonzola. I love blue cheese. I love feta. I use them a lot in my cooking, a lot of imported cheeses. I'm not saying that I'm not an all-American girl and I don't like a little bit of processed cheese every now and then, but for the most part, I hardly ever use it. That is a thing of beauty. Do you see how wonderfully those things are married together? Oh, just waiting for the butter to melt just a little bit more. So now that these are not whipped but mashed together, we're going to add maybe about 1/4 of a cup. We don't want the whole thing because we don't want it to taste like nothing but cheese, but we're going to use we're going to squeeze about a 1/4 cup of gorgonzola cheese inside. And we're not going to completely mash this in. We're just going to lightly fold it so that we can still have elements of and pockets of cheese. And now that that's mixed in, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take about a tablespoon of fresh minced garlic, because we want that taste. We want that bite to go along with the gorgonzola. So instead of cooking it like we normally do, we saute it up or something like that, this time we're going to put these in here raw. And it also gives some texture to your mashed potatoes. And then we're going to put some crushed coarse pepper inside. And mix that up. We are about ready for plating, and this also smells absolutely amazing. So we're going to get ready to plate this up. While I finish stirring this up and getting my plates and stuff together, we'll be right back. All right, you guys, we are back. We are at the final. Okay, we are at the finish line, about to be all over, and you're about to be able to dig into one of the best meals you've ever made. So we're just going to plate these mashed potatoes up. we are ready. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you. I hope that you enjoy this meal. I hope that, you know, it was easy to follow. Please write inside the comments anything that you want to know about what was used, what brands were used. I don't mind at all. I don't mind endorsing. So once again, Fiore garlic sauce. They are out of Pennsylvania. You should look them up. And if you are a caterer, or even if you just want something outside of the norm of your kitchen, invest in one of these new waves. It will absolutely change the way you cook. I hope that you enjoyed yourself. Please subscribe to the page. Chef Angell, Signatures by Angell Catering. We are based out of Newcastle, Delaware. www.cheffangell.com. Follow us on Facebook, Signatures by Angell Catering. Follow us also on Instagram at Signatures by Angell. Please, I hope that you come back and visit us again. See you.